Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Chicago Med is finally giving us the Archer spotlight we've been waiting for. Dean Archer, Steven Weber, used to be somebody Chicago Med fans cheered against. He was on the right side of Gaffney Medical Center's staff, but he was often antagonistic and manipulative of those he worked with. He gave Ethan Choi, Brian T., a hard time for years, and he was skeptical of Dr. Hannah Asher, Jessie Schramm, and her ability to maintain sobriety. Now, however, Archer has become one of the most beloved characters on the show. He's softened since his promotion to full-time cast member and allowed himself to be more vulnerable with those around him, especially Asher. And Chicago Med's upcoming episode, The Book of Archer, is the culmination of this character arc. The promo sees Archer undergo an especially difficult day on the job. He gets hit with intense case after intense case, and the promo gives a strong impression of the emotional toll it takes on him as his shift progresses. The brief clip ends with the doctor, alone in an elevator, banging his band on the wall out of frustration. He's no longer the flippant guy we met in Season 6. This is an episode we've been waiting to see since the beginning of February. We had the privilege of speaking with Chicago Med showrunner Alan McDonald about the character, and he told us that the Book of Archer will be catnip for those who have found themselves increasingly drawn to the Doctor and his story. Episode 17 is called The Book of Archer, McDonald explained, and it's going to be tied completely to Archer's point of view. The showrunner also provided background on the inspiration for the episode, and how the writers are still unpacking Archer's complicated feelings about being at Gaffney Medical Center. We are talking about a character who almost quit during the mid-season finale. I think that being from the military, he likes to be disciplined and completely under control, Alan McDonald noted. One of the fun things this season is bringing in Dr. Caitlin Lennox, who's kind of shaking them up. Archer has proven to be invaluable to the team in the One Chicago crossover and the episode Acid Test, where he manages to do his job and dispense wisdom despite being under the influence of drugs. We know his personal and professional struggles are far from over, but we hope that the Book of Archer provides some epiphany or solace for the unexpected fan favorite. For far too long, Dr. Dean Archer has been a supporting character in the intricate web of Chicago Med's fast-paced, high-stakes world. A man of calculated precision, hardened by years of military service, and carrying a stubbornness that borders on self-destruction, Archer has often been relegated to the role of the tough-as-nails antagonist to his more idealistic colleagues. But now the moment we've been waiting for has arrived. Chicago Med is finally giving Dr. Archer the spotlight he so richly deserves. Since his introduction, Archer has been a compelling enigma, a man whose surgical skill is rivaled only by his gruff, no-nonsense demeanor. His past as a Navy surgeon has informed his every decision, making him a deeply pragmatic, if sometimes rigid, presence in the emergency department. Whether butting heads with Dr. Marcel over surgical techniques or locking horns with Goodwin over hospital bureaucracy, Archer has rarely backed down. But beneath his steely exterior lies a man riddled with ghosts, a man whose devotion to medicine is only matched by his reluctance to let others in. And now Chicago Med is finally peeling back those layers to give us a deeper, richer look at one of the show's most fascinating doctors. This season, the writers have wisely leaned into Archer's backstory, forcing him to confront the very things he has spent his entire career avoiding: vulnerability, connection, and the weight of his past. The introduction of his estranged son, Sean, has been a game-changer. Seeing Archer struggle with the realities of reconnecting with a child he barely knows, one who has battled addiction and spent time in prison, has added a whole new dimension to his character. We've always known Archer as a man who thrives in high-pressure situations, but watching him navigate fatherhood has been a different kind of challenge, one that he can't simply fix with a scalpel and a steady hand. What makes this storyline so compelling is how it forces Archer to wrestle with his own shortcomings. His approach to medicine, controlled, unemotional, almost militaristic, doesn't translate to personal relationships. He's spent years compartmentalizing pain and burying emotions under layers of sarcasm and discipline, but Sean's presence forces him to reckon with the consequences of that detachment. He's learning, albeit painfully, that relationships aren't about control. They're about trust, patience, and being willing to show up even when it's messy. Beyond his personal struggles, Archer's professional arc has also been gripping. His health problems, chronic kidney disease, looming over him like an ever-present specter, have added a new layer of urgency to his character. For a man who has always prided himself on his independence and strength, the idea of being vulnerable, of needing help, is almost unbearable. Watching Archer grapple with the idea that he might not be able to perform surgeries forever, that he might one day be the one in need of care, has been equal parts heartbreaking and enthralling. It's a testament to Chicago Med's storytelling that they're allowing us to see Archer not just as a doctor, but as a human being, one who is deeply flawed yet profoundly compelling. The beauty of this season's focus on Archer is that it hasn't softened him beyond recognition. He's still the same stubborn, sharp-witted, and sometimes exasperating presence we've come to know. But now there's more depth, more layers to his character. We're seeing the cracks in his armor, the moments of hesitation, the small but significant shifts in his relationships with his colleagues. His interactions with Hannah Asher in particular have been a highlight. Their dynamic, built on mutual respect, professional tension, and an undercurrent of genuine concern, has been fascinating to watch unfold. Hannah, with her own history of personal struggles, is one of the few people who truly understands what it means to fight demons every day, making her one of the best possible foils for Archer. And let's talk about the acting. Steven Weber has always been a powerhouse in the role, but this season has given him some of his best material yet. His ability to convey so much with just a glance, a sigh, or a barely there quirk of the mouth is remarkable. He's playing a man who is slowly, painfully learning how to let people in, and it's been nothing short of mesmerizing to watch. His scenes with Scene, particularly, have been some of the most emotionally raw of the season, showcasing a side of Archer we rarely get to see, one filled with regret, uncertainty, and above all, hope. For fans who have been waiting for Archer to get his due, this season has been an absolute gift. Chicago Med is proving that he's not just the gruff, no-nonsense doctor in the background. He's a fully realized, deeply complex character with a story worth telling. And as the season continues, one thing is certain: Dr. Dean Archer is finally stepping into the spotlight, and we are here for every second of it.